Thing on? Yeah, I think it's working. All right. Welcome to the Homeless Millionaire vlog, where you're going to get to follow me on an unpredictable journey as I take my 7-figure coaching business and scale to 8 figures in the most craziest time of my life. And I'm going to tell you in a second why, so you know what you're signing up for if you're going to decide to follow me on this journey in this daily vlog. Off the bat, if you don't know who I am, my name is Armin Shaffi, and I'm the founder of highticketcoaching.com. It's a company that specializes in scaling other coaching businesses through viral organic marketing and building out a appointment setter team and sales team. And 6 years ago, I started as a life coach myself, and I did that for about 3 years. And the reason why I did is because I was in a near-death car accident, pretty crazy stuff. And I remember that shifted my life, and it made me take it really seriously in my life. And I went on this spiritual journey where I learned a lot about law of attraction, energy, and the mind, and I got into Think and Grow Rich. And so years later, I decided to build this life coaching business called The Reborn Experience based on my near-death experience. And I was helping all these people from all walks of life around the world with seminars around the world, helping them with breakthroughs in their marriage, their personal finances, their personal emotions, their depression, their confidence. I did that for like a good 3 years. And then I transitioned into online, where I was helping other coaches build that kind of dream business that I built as a life coach for them, but in all walks, in all different niches and markets. So about last year is when I officially became a millionaire. I remember I said to myself at 18, I'm going to be a millionaire by 25. And exactly on my 25th year, birthday year, I crossed my first million in online business with highticketcoaching.com. And that was last year, over a year and a half ago at this time. And today is specifically November 3rd, 2022. And last year is where I crossed my first million. Now, here's what's crazy that's happened. This is going to explain the context of why this show was inspired by me and my team to launch. And also the kind of the dramatic fear I have around this time of my life and what I'm about to attempt to do. Last year, after building my business up to $650,000 a month, I pretty much messed everything up. And so as soon as I hit that, it was in July of last year. Every month after that, I started to travel. As I traveled, I got hit with so many things that I didn't prepare myself for, and it really made me slip my entire business out of my hands. Because I was not at home where I was, locked in and dialed in and focused and I had momentum, I didn't expect what to happen with my momentum is dropping as I was traveling. I didn't expect to get distracted like crazy and outwitting the devil by Napoleon Hill. He calls this drifting. So I got hit with so much drifting and so much temptations and cravings and distractions. I never thought, I thought I was invincible. When you cross a million, you think you're invincible. And I didn't prepare for it, but everything I built crumbled. The money started to decrease every single month until I'd spent all the money that year I made. The relationships I had went into jeopardy, and it was terrible. And I got into a relationship that was, it was all my fault. It was dysfunctional, and it was like making me not who I am. And then in my business, I decided to delegate everything to my team, and I started blaming them for my lack of results and saying, why aren't they better? My clients started to withdraw because I was in withdrawal. And this was about a 5-month period after the first half of last year. I built this whole $1 million business up. In the next half of the year, I pretty much lost it all. And so this brings me to why I'm super nervous now in the position I'm in. So here's the story of what happened. I went to vacation inside of America. I was living in the States for my 6-month vacation during wintertime, snowbird type style. And I fell in love with the place. I'm like, man, I want to live in Miami. I want to be here. I'm going to get what's the right route to get a visa here, to get a green card eventually. I was looking at all that. And because I'm a type of person that takes action with faith, whenever I want something, I just go, I'm going to act as if I'm going to get there. I started to give up everything in Canada. Like I had a condo. I had my office here. I got rid of my office. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get a visa, stay in the States. And so I got a job offer in the States as well to do what I do with my business, but for someone directly. And so everything seemed really, really bright, really positive, really good, really clear. And so giving up everything in Canada, I had no plans to really want to stay in Canada. I don't want to live in Canada anyways. I love Canada. I grew up there. I grew up in Toronto. Richmond Hill specifically. And I'm like, man, I want to live somewhere year round where it's always beautiful, always warm, and cool people are there. And so it was part of my dream, building this business. I'm like, can I build that kind of lifestyle I've always wanted? And I'm like, great. So Miami was like that dream life for me. And so I'm like, I gotta do it right. So I didn't really expect anything to go wrong, which is what happens when you go with faith with something. And lo and behold, after giving up everything in Canada and building, relationships in Miami and finding the penthouse I wanted to live in, I found this $3 million penthouse. And within like a couple of hours, I got a realtor with connections with friends, and they gave me the opportunity to actually get that penthouse. And so I was ready to pull the trigger, but I'm like, hey, until I get this visa, I can't do this. It wouldn't be right. And so let me make sure I get the visa. And honestly, I didn't think anything would go wrong. So here I am. I have this dream $3 million penthouse in Edgewater, Florida, ready to be signed over to me so I can live there. And I started picturing everything. I'm like, I'm going to build a podcast room here. I'm going to build out my office there. I'm going to do everything. It's going to be great. I was so excited. And I went for my visa interview and I didn't get it. So I had to drive home. I was driving back to my family's place, and I was sitting there in shock. I'm like, damn, I just gave up everything I have in Canada. So I have no home here. I have no place here. I have no assets, nothing. And I was hoping to build everything out in Miami, and I had to give up the $3 million penthouse I wanted. And I had to give up everything, my relationships there, because I couldn't go back. And I was just afraid to not go back without a visa. So now I'm like abroad until I get that situated. I don't want to go back to the border or anything like this. And so I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I got nowhere in Canada to be, and I can't go to America. What the hell am I going to do? Hence how we came up with a really funny, positive way of turning this adversity of mine, where I'm kind of left with no home, into an opportunity to document my journey and challenge myself and prove to myself that I can scale my business. I can still be in high performance. I can still achieve all my goals, even if it's extremely difficult to. And regardless that I lost everything I built last year because of the same circumstance where I didn't have one place I was staying. I was traveling the whole time. Hence, welcome to the Homeless Millionaire. So the entire concept of the show is, obviously I'm not actually homeless. Like, I'm not living on the streets, and all respect to those people. I'm not saying anything about that. It's not a gimmick on that. But I actually don't have a home. I don't have a place that I reside anymore. And so nor a resident of Canada, clearly can't be a resident of America yet. And so I'm nowhere, but I'm running $1 million business. And so you get to watch me step by step behind the scenes of my journey as I, figure out where I'm going to live. Is it going to be where I'm at now? And you're going to see I'm in Dubai. And first episode, I'll share why, and you're going to get to see what we're doing here. I took it as an opportunity to kind of do something really cool for my business. But also I'm like, maybe I want to live in Dubai. I don't know. Let's find out. So you're going to be able to, one, watch that. Second, you're going to be able to see what it takes, the real stuff behind the scenes of as me not just running a 7-figure business, but scaling to 8 figures. And that goes from $100,000 a month to $1 million a month. Even though we've gotten close to $1 million, I want to normalize that. So you're going to get to see what it takes for me to stay in high performance, be the CEO of a 17, 18, actually a 20-person team now with 5 different executive managers, almost 300 clients. You're going to be able to see what that looks like. So hopefully you get tons of value from that and learn how to run your businesses better and everything. Because throughout the day, my team always says, man, if we just recorded that and put it up, it'd be crazy. And so you're going to be able to actually have that opportunity now. And third, hopefully, we can prove, as you watch and I do this, I can prove that I won't ruin my entire business like I did last year, given the circumstances I'm in. So welcome to my daily show now, where you're going to get to see everything every day, raw and real. If you follow me for a while, this will be the closest to insight you'll ever get on what it's like and what my life is like, and the reality of it. Nothing's perfect, and everything is difficult, but you get better at things. Things don't get easier. And if you haven't been following me for a while, then, if you've ever wondered what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to build $1 million business, what it's like to live that dream life of yours. Now I'm 26 years old. So if you're in your 20s, your early 30s, and you're like, man, I want to live that kind of life. What does it take? Like, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys. And honestly, ultimately, one day I want to look back at this as I documented this journey and be able to see the older Armin, the younger Armin, and what he went through and what he did and actually to get to where he is. I know for a fact, my mind's set on building a $100 million business over the next 2 to 3 years. The first step is 8 figures before 9. So I know for a fact when I get there, I'm going to want to look back and go, man, this is what it took. I remember those days. So season 1 of the vlog is Dubai, because I have some business to do here, and I'll share with you guys some really cool stuff around setting up your business properly, but also living here. Like, do I want to live here? Is this going to be the place? And then I'll leave a question mark open for where the next country is that I'm considering to go check out and live there for a 30-day period or longer, and see if that's going to be the place I live. And the funny thing is, meanwhile, all this is happening, I got everyone in my network I know working on this situation with me, for me to see if I can find a way to get back into the States, with a proper visa. And so it's all kind of a gamble, guys. Ultimately, I want to tell you this: what you can expect from the show is real life value behind the scenes, and a look into day in the life of a CEO of a 7-figure business. Second, you get to travel with me technically through the vlog and say, hey, would I want to live there? Can I use this? Can I do this? And so hopefully that'd be really cool for you guys. And third, if you've ever battled with inconsistency, self-doubt, with high performance, energy, focus, this will be the ultimate challenge and test for me and for you watching, to see what it's going to be like and if it's possible. So I almost, openly speaking to you guys, I want to prove to myself that I can scale a business, let alone run a business, while I don't have any consistency in my environment, any consistency in my, what's tomorrow like. Everything's unpredictable. Honestly, I don't know what tomorrow's like. I don't know what next month's, I don't know where I'm going to be a week from now. That's kind of scary, but it's exciting. So the whole twist of this is, a lot of people want to make a lot of money, so they go out and travel the world and do all these things. And here's the catch: I hate traveling. I really don't like traveling. I don't like the time wasted on flights. I don't like the time wasted adjusting to the new place. I don't like any of this stuff. And you could clearly tell last year I almost lost everything I built just from doing something I wasn't really prepared for. I didn't know how to do, and I didn't like it. So if I could have it my way inside my fingers right now, I'd be living in my dream place. I'd have a home. I'd build there 5-10 years. I'd build a massive company. I focus on consistency every single day. The best times of my life, I had a specific routine. Every day I woke up, I did the same thing, ate the same thing, wore the same thing. Everything was the same. It was consistent. And so now this big challenge for me spiritually is, can I be consistent or even better in my performance, in my focus, in my goals, even though it's not easy, even though it's difficult, even though I've lost every form of consistency in my life? I guess we'll find out in the coming episodes of The Homeless Millionaire. Love you guys lots. We're going to be launching some really cool ideas as well, where maybe we can do meetups and you guys can win prizes and all this good stuff. But for now, we're just going to kind of go with the flow and see how this goes. I can't promise that the show will last. I can't promise that I'll do it more than a week. I can't promise anything, because there's nothing promised to me right now in my environment, in my life. So excited to have you guys on the journey. Make sure you go ahead and click the button below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on all the post notifications on my Instagram, on my Facebook if there's any, on YouTube for sure, so you get notified as soon as we drop videos every single day. Love you guys lots. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.